Everyone to K&J Travels. This is your host Juan Verde, and in this video we're going to do a review of our trip to New York that we took earlier in the month. So before we get started, please hit the like button, please subscribe to our channel so we can continue to make more content, as we will be able to review a lot of our travels throughout the world. So earlier in the month, myself and my wife, we took a trip to New York for a few days, and it was a great experience. I got to tell you, I loved it. I've never been there, so it was the first time. Mind you, it was very cold. I got to tell you first off that the weather is freezing temperatures. We're talking about 25 to 35 degrees freezing temperatures when we spent our time there. Spent about 4 nights there, and I thought it was a great experience. So we booked on United Vacations. So my wife did the due diligence, and we will provide the link in the description on how we booked that. But we simply went through United Vacations and booked through them. We ended up getting a good deal on a package, which included flight and the hotel stay. So United was great. Everything about the experience, about the flight was great. They got us there like 15 minutes before our ETA. I thought the flight was pretty smooth, fast. I enjoyed it. So that was pretty good. We pretty much got in and out. We actually landed in Newark. So when we booked the flight, mind you, I know people like to land in LaGuardia in the middle of New York City, but I would prefer, if you're trying to save some money, stay in New Jersey, land in New Jersey, Newark at that airport. It's a much more convenient, probably easier to get out of there. And then, like I said, it is about an hour. It's about an hour from the airport to the destination of our hotel. It took about 45 minutes actually. So be aware that Uber or Lyft, if you're lucky, you can get it. If you can get it under $100, definitely you'll benefit. We managed to get our Lyft for around $60 at the time. It was around midday, around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So that was very convenient. But normally Lyft, Uber from New Jersey to New York, you're looking at 45 minutes, and you're looking like approximately $80 to $100 for that ride. So as we make through our travel through New Jersey into New York, we stayed at the Barclays Intercontinental Hotel, which was a beautiful hotel. I got to tell you, it isn't that big, but I mean, it's sensational from the outside. And as you look in the inside, the beautiful lobby, it is practically incredible. I believe it's a 5-star type hotel. But if you're looking for something that a little bit more upscale, the hotel is amazing. The rooms were great. So we managed to check in. I think it was an easy check-in with them. Very consistent. They got you pretty much in and out. Didn't have to wait for very long. But the kicker is this. They do charge a hotel fee that you could actually apply the money if you happen to spend inside the hotel. So for example, you get a $25 credit per night, which you can use towards anything you want in the hotel. Meaning if you want room service, you're looking to go at the bar and have a drink, they will actually apply that resort fee of approximately $150 that goes towards you could actually spend at the location, at the hotel itself. So that's definitely a big convenience. I thought that was a plus. The room itself, we had got a king bed. It was just a nice room overlooking the other side of the city. I mean, no big deal there, but I thought that the convenience of that, it was roomy. I thought it was spacious for what we got. We stayed around on the 7th floor, and then the big positive is that every bathroom floor is actually heated. So as cold as it was outside, and it possibly, hardwood floor could be very, very cold when you're walking around. But when you get out of the shower, when you take a shower, you step on that tile floor, that marble floor in the bathroom, it's actually heated, so it's warm. So you don't have to feel like that freezing, chilling feeling on your feet as you get out of the shower and anytime you're in the bathroom. So I thought that was a huge plus. Going forward, as we checked into the hotel, the whole basis of our trip was to visit a steak frites place called Relais De Venise, which is originated in Paris. It's a steak frites place that is in Paris. When we got to spend our time in Paris, it's a very popular place. They only serve steak frites. You're given a salad to start, then you get 2 rounds of steak and fries, and you end with a dessert. And pretty convenient. You pay about $35 a person, and this is why it's so popular. It's very convenient. It's not very expensive, and you're able to have a nice 3-course meal for a really decent price. So I thought that the reason for our trip, my wife really wanted to go there, so it was about 7 minutes away from the hotel, and I thought that that was a place that we really wanted to go. So when we landed around 3 o'clock, made our way to our hotel, got situated at around 5 o'clock. We tried to quickly walk to that restaurant, and we waited for a bit. I mean, normally it's first come, first serve. I got to tell you, there's no reservations. They don't take reservations, so you got to wait in line. Sometimes you wait outside. In Paris, you could wait as much as like 2 to 3 hours just to get inside. So it's extremely difficult, but we made sure before it opened that we were in line. We didn't take long. We probably only waited like maybe 30 minutes before we were inside, and it was just a great experience. Yeah, the restaurant is located on 155 East 54th Street on the corner of Lexington and 54th Street. So I will leave a link in the description as well as the address if you guys are interested in visiting that restaurant. Definitely, I would recommend it. It's a very good experience for a really decent cost. Next day, we went to Pershing Square Cafe located on East 42nd Street. We had lunch there. We kind of skipped breakfast only because simply we overslept and breakfast was over, and we decided to have lunch. Pershing Square Cafe, just an amazing experience. It's huge. The room is like, the dining room is just massive. A lot of people look like they have lunch there, and it was just another good experience. The food was great. My wife had the burger. I had the Caesar salad, and I heard people like the Caesar salad there. And I had a margarita there, and she had a Modelo. I thought the food was great, and I liked just about everything that was in there. It wasn't too crowded. Didn't have to wait long to sit and have our waiter take our order, and everything was moving pretty quickly when we went in there. I just like the atmosphere there. It was just right under the bridge, and I thought it was a great experience. After lunch later that day, we went to go visit the Summit, which is One Vanderbilt building. It's a skyscraper that is a must. I definitely would recommend anyone that visits New York, definitely go and visit the One Vanderbilt building. It's called the Summit. It is a huge skyscraper that overlooks the entire city of New York. There are many other skyscrapers you can visit at a certain price, but this experience definitely, in my opinion, tops the rest. We definitely had to buy our ticket as soon as we got there, or we can buy them online. I will also send that link in the description, but the experience was great. You go in there, you immediately walk in a room where you're watching like the cinematic feature of how the building was constructed and the history of the building. And then after that, you are given like these little booties, because the next level that you go up, and you're going up about, oh man, I have to say about almost like 80 flights of like floors all the way up. And you walk into like a hall of mirrors. So it's just like a big room of mirrors. And in that, everybody's just taking pictures. It's definitely like a social media like landscape where anybody could just take pictures and do videos, and you're looking over places all over New York, and it's different floors. But the other room that we ended up also experiencing was the room where all the chrome balls, where it's like vacuum and it's just like different reactions. And I thought that was also great touch to see that building. It was just so entertaining walking through the different rooms in that building, starting with the mirrors and then going with the chrome balls and the different artwork that was there. I really thought that visiting the Summit was just completely awesome. And then when you get to the final floor all the way at the top, you could actually, there actually is like, I wouldn't say a balcony, but an outside area there, which obviously it's freezing cold at the top. There's another great view of just the city, and then there's like a bar at the top where you could have food up there, and then you also take pictures along the way. So if you wanted to purchase, for example, certain pictures that they take of you, and you're able to, I guess, download them onto either your phone or so for purchase. And I thought that that's a pretty cool idea. So I thought that that was just a great experience. I definitely would recommend it. It's just awesome. Definitely try the summit at the One Vanderbilt building. Later that afternoon, before it was getting dark, we made our way to Times Square, where everything was illuminated. It's exactly how it's advertised. I mean, there's billboards all over the place, electronic billboards. There's like things. There's so much action going on in that town. Just people walking all over the place, taking pictures. It's definitely a sight to see. I definitely recommend it. Times Square is a must. It's just crowded everywhere you go. There's people walking up and down the street, and it's just illuminative. Definitely, I took pictures there. Definitely got to recognize all that was going on there. So we went to Times Square, and then we made our way to the famous halal place, the food truck that was located across the street from Radio City Music Hall, which it is unbelievable. It's totally worth it. I totally recommend it. It is like one of the longest lines that you have to make in order to get your food, but it's totally worth it. We waited in line for about an hour. Ordered the combination lamb and chicken halal with spicy rice and pita bread. And I'll tell you what, though, it was totally worth the hour wait to experience that. I live in Los Angeles. You can't even find one of those places around here, you know, let alone finding a truck in the middle of the street. Right here we do street tacos, but over there they do hot dogs and they do a lot of halal, and that was totally worth my time waiting just so I can get a taste of that delicious halal. So that was really a really good experience, and I'm glad I got to do that. Then later on, we made our way for dinner. We ate at a place called Bo Peep, which is located in Koreatown, and it is located on 70th West 36th Street. And it's basically a speakeasy, more like a speakeasy type, kind of go downstairs. It's very beautiful. I like the look of the place. It's a nice vibe. The food was good. The more impressive thing is like the servers, there's entertainment there, and the servers actually sing. I mean, they got great voices there. And that's what we were entertained to. We got somebody playing the piano while somebody is actually singing a song, doing like karaoke. So that's pretty impressive. That's pretty amazing. So after that, after Bo Peep, we made our way to a skyscraper lounge called Skylark, which is located at the top floor in the 30th floor on 200 West 39th Street, where we had drinks. We didn't have food there since we had dinner, but it's a beautiful view of the skyline. And it was just a good place to have drinks. The music was great. DJ played great Afro beats. I mean, really played some old school 90s and 80s hip hop. I thought that was great. I mean, you could just sit there and lounge while you have a drink and look over the skyline. I thought it was very beautiful, especially at night. I mean, when everything is illuminated, it is a amazing time to spend, especially probably on the weekend. It'll probably be crowded, but we took a Thursday night to experience that. That was definitely worth it. Skylark Lounge on the top in the 30th floor. I definitely recommend that as well. That was definitely a sight to be seen there when you look over the skyline. After a great night at Skylark Lounge, the next night we finally met up with my wife's cousin and her husband. We attended their wedding a year ago before, so we finally, since we were in New York, we finally get to meet up in New York. They live in New Jersey, actually. So we started the night at Oscar's Wild, located in 45 West 27th Street. It was definitely a fun place, a lot of vibe. Had a lunar Chinese New Year theme to it, as the place looked glamorous the way it was decorated. We had a few drinks there. We had a couple of appetizers there. The food was great. I thought the drinks were great. Definitely crowded. It was a fun place to be at. So we spent about an hour there before we went to dinner in West Village, Manhattan, at a place called MiGarba, which is a Italian place, which the food was amazing. I got to tell you, definitely a place I would recommend. They were the ones that recommended it to us. We came there, we dined there, we had some wine, we started with some scallops and some appetizers. My wife had this pasta that was just simply amazing. I had a skirt steak. That was just awesome. The food there was just second to none. I definitely recommend that. I'll definitely post the address in the description. That was phenomenal food. It was a great experience. The place is awesome. It's just basically like a small little place in West Village, Manhattan, and I definitely would recommend it. And then we ended up clubbing at a place called Cafe Nuñez, a Dominican cafe, which during the day, it's a restaurant. Didn't go there at all during the day, but we experienced the club life at night, which was awesome. Great music. The drinks are great. They offered this VIP lounge where we had to buy a bottle. And I'll tell you what, though, the list that they had was far less expensive than I've ever experienced in Los Angeles. We got a bottle of Don Julio Añejo for about $260. You couldn't find that at any club in Los Angeles. And I'll tell you what, though, that was definitely a steal, in my opinion. So we were able to get this small room in the back where we got to also purchase hookah. You could also purchase hookah there. We also drank. We had a great time. It was just a wonderful night with my wife's cousin and her husband. And it had been a long time since we had seen them. And it was great to experience that night with them. The funny part is getting out like around 3 a.m, it started snowing. And I've never experienced snow like that. I've been to Big Bear, but I've never experienced like snowfall like that happened in New York. So funny story there. We ended up taking the taxi cab back to our hotel. My wife was hungry and wanted a pizza, so I made my way about a block and a half to a $1.50 pizza place, and I definitely recommend that. That place, you can get pizza at any time you want. They're open 24 hours. It is amazing. You could get a full pizza or you could get a slice for $1.50. So I had purchased a pizza the night before, late night, and I had came back. My wife was really hungry. Obviously, there's no microwaves in the hotel, so I actually took a walk all the way to the $1.50 pizza place. I asked them to heat up my pizza, and they were generous enough to actually do that for me. So that was great. The fact that it was snowing, it was really coming down, and getting that pizza from my wife, obviously my wife was happy, but it was just a unique experience for me to experience a snow shower while I'm walking the streets of New York. So I thought that was pretty incredible. And to finish off the final night, my wife stayed in her final night, our final night, but I actually ended up going up the street to a sushi place called Ramen Yama. And that sushi place, they do sushi and they do ramen. They're known for their ramen and their sushi. And that place was also incredible. Another place you could have good sushi. A lot of the sushi places and a lot of the restaurants, like I said, they're pretty pricey, but it's totally worth it. The food is amazing. The service is great. And the vibe is great. So, and that night, I'll tell you, it was freezing cold. I left without my jacket. I just had like one layer. And it was 25 degrees, and it was a new kind of cold that I didn't experience. And just walking up the street, I mean, it was freezing cold at night having dinner, but the sushi, the experience was amazing to cap off our final night in New York. Overall, I mean, positives. I have so many positives. I didn't even get a chance to mention that we walked Central Park. That was great because after it snowed the next day, it's just like beautiful white all over the park. That was amazing. I didn't even get a chance to mention that. But the overall experience was completely positive. The hotel was great. The flight going to New York and back to Los Angeles was great. all the experiences that I had there were pretty much good. I don't hardly have any complaints. Probably the only negative is, I guess, the time in the calendar year when you go. I mean, if you go around February or go around that really cold window of the year, I mean, it is freezing cold. I mean, if you're not used to it or you can't hang, probably you would want to wait until the spring. But other than that, I would definitely go back. I probably would make it some kind of a tradition with me and my wife if we'd like to go back again. I know she would like to go back. I definitely would like to go back. And maybe we'll try to experience maybe staying at a different hotel. Not that I wouldn't want to stay at the Barclays. The Barclays was amazing, but I just wanted to try maybe a different experience. But if you staying in New York, definitely I would recommend the Barclays Intercontinental. It's definitely a very Class A hotel. If you plan to stay there, you'll definitely won't be disappointed. Once again, please like and subscribe to the channel. We want to be able to give you more content and give you more of our experiences on our journey. So please join us on our journey as we go and review different places that we have been around the world. And we would like to give you all the information possible. So hopefully it would be useful to each and every one of you in the future. Once again, see you next time. Bye.